Am I the asshole for telling my mill that her rules for letting us stay in her house are ridiculous? We had a severe plumbing issue occur at our house recently. Insurance will cover it, but the house is virtually uninhabitable until that happens. Our second-story bathtub is currently hanging halfway into the kitchen. My husband's mom graciously extended an invitation for he and I and our 2 kids to sleep over at her house for a week or 2 while repairs are being done. We accepted, and upon arrival everything was fine. We have had a rocky past, but at this point his mother and I usually are pretty cordial. After dinner we went to put the kids in bed in the pull-out couch in their TV room. She stopped us and said, "If you do that, where will you 2 be sleeping?" And my husband looked at her confused. "In the guest suite?" She looked completely shocked. "Under my roof? Absolutely not. You," talking to my husband, "can have the guest suite, but she sleeps somewhere else." My husband sort of laughed in amazement and said, "You're going to make my wife sleep in the living room when there's a perfectly good queen-sized bed for us both?" His mom all but shuddered. She said, "Oh my God, why are you even making me think about this? I don't want to think about my son in bed with a woman." We've been married 8 years. At this point I just started to smother a smile. I seriously could not help it. Her face had gone red as a tomato and she looked so genuinely gobsmacked. She turned to me and snapped, "What's funny here?" I replied, "I'm sorry, her name." She asked again, "What's funny? What's so funny to you? Do you have to act like a child about everything?" So I responded, "This is all just a little ridiculous." She stormed out of the room after giving us both the finger, and fuck if that didn't make me laugh harder, and went upstairs. She pretty much slammed her bedroom door behind her. That night my husband gave me the guest suite and he slept with our kids on the pull-out sofa. We left and went to my parents the next day where they had no issue allowing us to share a room. His mother has requested an apology from both of us for disrespecting her home, but my husband hasn't responded to that text and honestly we don't even know how. Am I the asshole? Not the asshole. You have 2 kids. Where does she think they came from? Tears of joy. Not the asshole. Mill is bonkers. I would reverse Uno her request for an apology. Not the asshole. And wow. Your mill has more issues than National Geographic. Considering that the 2 of you did wind up following her rules and did wind up not sleeping together while under her roof, you did wind up following her rules. As far as I can see, the only things you could have possibly done to disrespect her is that you took the guest suite instead of your husband and then left to stay somewhere else. Basically, you left her control. So, no, neither you nor your husband owe her an apology. Besides, it was her who gave you the finger. Not the asshole. Mill is seriously creepy in the way she is infantilizing her son. You 2 are married and it's totally insane and out of line for her to not allow you to share a bed. Very, very weird behavior on her part. You could apologize for calling her ridiculous, but I would make sure she knew I was specifically apologizing just for the phrasing. NYA. I would have answered, "How do you think we made your grandkids?" Wow. You already know you're not the asshole. What I want to know is what happened or hasn't happened in your MIL's life that would make her act so disgusted at the idea of a husband and wife sharing a bed. Why isn't your husband's father in the picture? Not the asshole. You guys have been married for 8 years and have kids. Does she think they are from Immaculate Conception? XD. Not the asshole. Lol. My in-laws tried to do that to me. They begged us to come stay with them overnight before Thanksgiving last year, and I'm pregnant and was very sick, and last second as it's midnight and we're heading off to bed they act like we're crazy for thinking we get to sleep together. I was so angry. We got in the car and left, which my significant other didn't like, but I refused to give in to that crap. They should have mentioned it in the invite, or at any other time before bedtime. Your mill sounds like the worst. Not the asshole. Your mill needs to get laid. Not the asshole. Where does she think her grandkids came from? The stork. Also, don't apologize to her. She's off her rocker. You know you're not the asshole. But to be honest, that's fine. I laughed. When I read the title I was like, yeah, probably, her house, her rules, but yeah, ridiculous and unreasonable, obviously. Don't apologize, she's the one disrespecting his son's family. Not the asshole. That's such a weird hill to die on. You've been his wife for 8 years, birthed 2 children of his, and this is over the line? This has to be fake. It made me laugh a little, but no one can be this dense as the mill. Not the asshole. It's not like you said, he hasn't just been in a bed with me, we've got 2 kids, so obviously he's plowed me a bunch of times too. Not that I'd blame you if you had. I mean, I guess it's her house and she can have any dumb as fuck rule she wants, but that doesn't mean you're an asshole for pointing out it's dumb as fuck. I think you'd enjoy some time over at RJUSTNOMIL. Not the asshole. She sounds loony. You certainly don't owe her an apology. Your husband should text back that while he understands she was upset, neither of you have anything for which you need to apologize. You're certainly entitled to an apology for her behavior, but realistically, you're not going to get it, so I wouldn't press that point. Assuming you want to keep contact with her, he can throw in something to smooth things over a bit, such as, we all learned that it doesn't work for us to stay with you, but we're looking forward to seeing you for dinner, brunch, whatever you all normally do. Then just ignore it. Not the asshole. Where does she think her 2 grandchildren came from? We are not apologizing for being married is a good place to start. Not the asshole. She must know her grandchildren got there somehow. And it's not like staying in one's MIL's guest room is the world's greatest aphrodisiac to begin with. Not the asshole. OMG, do we have the same mother? She makes my brother and sister, both married with children, sleep apart when they visit her. Not the asshole. You're a better person than I am. I would have laughed and gone to bed with my husband. Not the asshole. It's not like you're teenagers. SMH. Not the asshole. But I don't think it was for the reason that she said it was for. I think it was that her son deserves a nice place to sleep, but Op doesn't even deserve the floor in her house. Kind of like showing Op down and making her lower than the mill. My husband's mom graciously extended an invitation for he and I and our 2 kids to sleep over at her house. Oh my God, why are you even making me think about this? I don't want to think about my son in bed with a woman. Where the fuck did she think your kids came from? Not the asshole. Not the asshole. Husband should respond and state mother will not get an apology. Not the asshole. This made me laugh. I needed that. Your reaction was far better than her rule called for. I get that it's her house and her rule, but if she doesn't know the 2 of you sleep together and you've been married for 8 years and have kids, then she's delusional. Sure, she makes her own rules, but you're also allowed to laugh at their stupidity. You even abided by them, which I salute you for. She's the one that was acting childish, not you or your husband. Good luck with your house. Not the asshole. How about, Mom, I'm sorry, you are an idiot. Not the asshole. Her rule is very odd. Does she have a crush on her own son or something? How does she think her grandchildren were made? Lol. I can smell the musty OL family Bible from here. Not the asshole. Not the asshole. There's not a single logical, religious, or understandable reason for her behavior. I can't even come up with a crazy one that makes sense. Not the asshole. And check out Just No Mill. I wouldn't be surprised if she's got an unhealthy obsession with her son as a substitute husband. Not the asshole. Just contact insurance company when able to and see what kind of accommodation they can help with, as Mill is nuts. Not the asshole. She's acting crazy. Not the asshole. That is weird as hell. Normally in someone's house, they can have whatever weird rules they want, but where does she think her grandchildren came from? Not the asshole. She can give apology for disrespecting your marriage first. What a cow. Not the asshole. Very sorry you guys are going through this right now. You sound like you've at least got a good sense of humor about all the mill drama at least. I absolutely would not apologize. You didn't even end up sharing the bed, so you complied with her weird rule and therefore didn't disrespect her home. I have literally never seen anybody pull out this rule with a married couple, particularly a couple that already has kids. And as if 2 people who have been through the ringer with your major plumbing malfunction, and having to pack up your kids and leave would even have the energy to fool around rather than just drop dead the moment you hit the sheets. On the bright side, this story is hilarious and I'm sure you'll get a lot of mileage out of it. Not the asshole. Does she not remember how your children had to have been made? So when do we officially add circle jerk to the subname? I don't think I have seen a case where the poster actually believes that they may have done something wrong on ages. It's all people trying to shame other people for being assholes or just karma whoring. Not the asshole one. How does she think she got grandchildren? 2. I doubt you guys would really do anything since you're in the guest room. Not the asshole. Your mill has problems. Even if you had no kids and were just dating, it makes no sense to not let you sleep together. Mill sounds like one of those creepy moms who thinks of her son as her man. Not the asshole, but your insurance would probably cover a hotel. My niece's home had a tree fall and demolish it, and insurance put them in a hotel and then a house rental. Your mill is bonkers. The nerve of this woman, lol. Like, she has your kids over, what the fuck does she think caused their creation? Even then, it's not like you two would just go wild the second you both have a bed together. Where's your apology for trying to separate a married couple? Reply to the text with a bird of your own, not the asshole. Not the asshole. I think it's time for you to sit his mother down and have a talk about what happens when a man loves a woman. Otherwise, she is being ridiculous and deserves no apology. You should have shared the queen bed and enjoyed loud and passionate sex. But that's just me being a shit stirrer. Not the asshole. You're a married couple. You have kids. How on earth did she think those kids came into being? Not allowing a married couple to sleep in the same bed under her roof is disrespectful in my opinion and more than a little ridiculous. I'm glad you have another place to stay until this is over. I would have your husband text her that he feels more comfortable sleeping at your parents' house because he likes to share a bed with his wife and he won't apologize for thinking her request was comical. Not the asshole. I would have gone out and bought some condoms, then gone upstairs and faked some very loud, weird sex noises with husband, then in the morning left at least 5 condoms with a little mayo stuffing strewn all over the room. Then you would probably never have had to see her again, lol. Not the asshole. That was an unreasonable request for her to make. She owes you and your husband an apology for the disrespect she showed to your marriage and for her insulting behavior towards you. As for the one acting like a child, well, she was the one shuddering at the thought of her son in bed with a woman. How dare you live in matrimony with her son? Not the asshole. I'm so glad you and your husband had the sense to laugh and humor this lunatic before leaving for a sane haven. You can't fight crazy. Of course her rules were ridiculous and do not apologize to her. Your husband should tell her she's the only person he knows who doesn't allow a married couple to sleep in the same bed, but if they are her rules then you won't ever be staying there again, so she's got nothing to worry about. If she keeps demanding an apology, tell her she has the choice to either let it go or she won't be seeing either you or your children again, and hope for the latter. NTA. But I laughed, like what type of mental disorder one has to have say such thing? Does she realize you guys are married and have 2 kids together? How does she think they happened? Oh wait, could your husband be adopted? ANF. Perhaps she still believes in storks?